From the studios of Farm Journal Broadcast, this is AgDay.
Never a bad day and always happy.
I just knew I liked animals, I knew I liked pigs.
One woman is proving not all heroes wear capes, bringing smart farming to the milking parlor.
We tried to use as much automation in this barn as we can.
The difference it can make for the cows and human handlers in today's smart farming, as China cancels orders of some U.S. ag.
It was quite a struggle to get that the stuff they did ship sourced.
Is more to come right now on AgDay.
AgDay, presented by Pioneer. What's next happens when the name on the cap matches the power of one's purpose. Pioneer. What's next happens here.
Good morning, I'm Clinton Griffiths. Not the kind of news that farmers or ag groups want to hear. China canceling U.S. ag buys. USDA announcing over 3 days Beijing canceled 18.5 million bushels of soft red winter wheat, and analysts are telling us it may not end there. Market analysts telling AgDay China may have pulled out of those sales because they can buy wheat at cheaper prices elsewhere in the world, especially with Russia, which is now offering wheat at under $200 per metric ton. However, it may also be a result of shipping problems along the Mississippi River and with the Panama Canal.
It was quite a struggle to get that the stuff they did ship sourced, and so I think they just waved the flag and they're going to give that back. I must, I don't know if they're waiting to buy more cheaper or if they just kind of overshot the story last fall that their harvest got, 20% ruined with the rain, and it looked like they're going to make it through just fine.
Dueling tells us he is expecting more China cancellations as they had bought another 36 million bushels of U.S. soft red winter wheat last fall, and they still have about 22 million of that left to ship. John Deere plans to lay off 150 employees in Ankeny, Iowa. AgDay affiliate KTVO reporting the cuts will impact about 150 workers. It says John Deere Des Moines Works confirmed employees were told about the layoffs in a meeting at the factory on Friday, and that the workers will be placed on indefinite layoff effective over the months of April and May. The Ankeny plant currently employs about 1,700 people. We haven't seen the last of the snow just yet. Meteorologist Martin Lorimore joins us with an update.
Yeah, we're looking at an active weather pattern over the next couple of days. Could start seeing a little bit of these storms sparking up in the southern plains. This is going to continue up into near the Great Lakes. So this entire area right here could have a handful of those stronger to maybe some severe storms, especially just along Kansas and Missouri. They're kind of that hot spot for seeing those storms. As we move from our Thursday into our Friday, again, watching as these storms roll their way across with this cold front, going to start seeing a big low pressure system moving its way in from Canada. This is going to be bringing in both a little bit of snow across the northern Great Lakes, but also for almost the entire eastern U.S., much colder temperatures. We've been enjoying a nice warm air past several weeks, in fact, but this low pressure is going to be bringing winter back in for a lot of us in the eastern U.S. You can see the temperature outlook. Most of the eastern United States can be sitting below average, with places out toward the west getting a little bit warmer. Speaking out toward the west, Wyoming, Jim, he said that his heifers are not exactly a little bit happy with the groundhog. Yeah, that's no early spring there for sure. So he's saying they've been getting quite a few snow. Although I will tell you, Jim, more than likely that snow coming to an end pretty soon. I'll have more in your forecast coming up.
Smart Farming Week on AgDay is brought to you by John Deere. For generations before and generations to come, John Deere is part of your farm and your family. Whatever your technology needs, John Deere has the tools to help you grow your farm. And by ESN. Don't risk your nitrogen investment. ESN is designed to beat the 5 ROI killers and provide season-long end to your crop. Learn how ESN works at smartnitrogen.com.
Dairying is a 365-day-a-year job, and so dairy producers are always looking for ways to streamline tasks on the farm. As AgDay's Michelle Rook found, smart farming is also helping take dairy operations to new heights of productivity.
The United States dairy industry has long been a leader in technology and smart farming, and the latest chapter is robotics. Drumgoon Dairy added robots in 2021 as part of their third farm addition in South Dakota. Drumgoon East is home to 20 robots milking about 1,470 cows. Several factors push the Elliots to make the investment.
Labor is becoming harder to come by, more expensive, and the willingness for people to stand and do some of the jobs that traditional and dairy farms probably less and less.
Plus, when you remove the human element, cows can be milked more uniformly any time of day.
So for me, the robot's about consistency. The robot does its job very well, very thorough, very consistent. It does the same job at the end of a 12-hour shift as it does at the start of a 12-hour shift.
For the cows, a big advantage of a robotic system is milking is voluntary.
So it's the cow's choice when she wants to go and get milked. We're not telling her, it's her choice when she wants to go.
And when cows get milked in a quiet, stress-free environment 3 to 4 times a day at peak lactation, while eating an individually designed ration, production also increases.
Here, every cow is identified as an individual, and to the degree they want to, they can feed them a certain amount of pellets. They can determine the number of times she can be milked in a day.
The cows get milked very efficiently. Our cows are less than 6 minutes in the box, and if they're milk given, so they don't spend more. That's probably 18, 20 minutes of their day. The rest of their day they can eat, use the brushes, lay in their sand beds, and have comfort. So we will have more milk, and I think our cows will last longer.
At every milking, the robots also collect health and production data.
I mean, when the cow comes in and is milked, it's identified, and each one of the quarters, the milk that's harvested is weighed and recorded.
At Drumgoon, they've also added automation in areas outside the milking parlor.
Robots pushing up the feed, automatic scraper scraping the manure. We try to use as much automation in this barn as we can.
In Wisconsin, Pagels Ponderosa Dairy and Hilltop Farm are also using smart farming technology, including for heat detection. A system built by Parlor Boss and Sense Hub work together in the rotary to identify cows coming into heat while they're milking.
So if you look at the TV screen above, for example, this might show us if a cow is due for vaccination today, or if a cow is due to be inseminated today because she's at heat. That information would be there.
That's taken headlock time from 5 to 6 hours a day down to just 4 to 5 hours per week. Out in the barn, temperature control systems also help optimize temperature, keep cows cool, and fly free. Smart farming technology that's all in the name of cow comfort, efficiency, and productivity. I'm Michelle Rook reporting for AgDay.
Corn and soybeans continuing to make some gains midweek. We dive into the markets coming up next. And later, one woman took a chance on a job that's turned into a rewarding career on the farm. See why she's a barn hero today in the country. Sales of new equipment continue to slide, with combine purchases in February down by more than 31% compared to last year. But according to one former ag equipment exec, this may be the best time to invest in technology. The Association of Equipment Manufacturers releasing its latest February ag tractor and combine sales report. Total two-wheel drive farm tractors were down 6.7%. Four-wheel drive sales were down 14.3%, and combines down 31.5% on the month of February. Daryl Matthews, a former executive with Trimble, says across the board, most major equipment manufacturers think sales of both equipment and ag tech will be down 6 to 20% this year.
The challenge we have is that technology investments in general, even in a declining commodity market, can pay for itself in 1 year. And it's in these challenging markets that you need to start to think about trying to drive more efficiency in technology and in what you're doing in your farming operation. But it's definitely going to be down in 2024.
Now, he says auto steer is one of those examples. It's on currently about 80% of farms today. So what's the challenge in getting it on the additional 20%? He says it's cost, but if you look at how much savings comes in less overlap, less fuel and less inputs, that's a savings of about $15 per acre. And on 650 acres, he says that will pay for itself in a year. Soybean futures sitting at a 3-week high. Michelle Rook has more in Markets Now.
Grain and livestock futures ending mixed on Wednesday. Don Rose, U.S. Commodities, is back with us. Don, let's talk about corn and soybeans, kind of a sideways day. But do you feel like we've stopped going down and we're trying to add some risk premium to those markets?
Well, it does. It feels like we've got the bear goose fully dialed into the market, Michelle. We're starting to react neutral to positive on news as we go forward here, and I think that's a good sign. Ever since we had these key reversals in corn, you know, a while back here, a few days, and same thing on wheat, we've had some technical buying come into the market. So it feels like we're trying to add some risk premium going into some of these big reports the end of the month, Michelle.
Yeah, $4.50 corn though, and a $12 soybean still eluding us. Do you think we'll get over those marks at some point here?
Well, you know, I think when you look at it overall, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to move to the upside. And I doubt if the funds want to continue with this big short position going into this this acres and stocks report at the end of the month. Then we've got a 3-day weekend, Good Friday coming up, and we've got concerning weather both in Brazil's safrinha corn crop and the U.S. Weather. You know, a record warmth for the winter here so far. So there's reasons to be concerned and be a little bit careful. And certainly the technicals are there in a fundamental that is positive in a fundamental market that's still negative.
So the wheat market did see some losses on Wednesday with more China cancellations, but it wasn't U.S. this time, was it?
No, I mean, we had the China continuing to, I think, get closer to Russia all the time with their cheap wheat. They canceled the French wheat here today. So that's really, we went down, but not hard down, Michelle.
Left cattle scoring some new highs for the move. And is it all technical? Are the funds buying here, or is there something fundamental pushing it besides just this tight supply situation?
Well, the funds no doubt want to be under the market. Fundamentally, the cattle market is strong. They know that. I think what we've really done is we've pushed up some of this demand closer to the weeks ahead because of the dry, warm conditions that we've had across a lot of the U.S. And I think that's been a big plus helping the beef market.
Thanks for joining us, Don Rose, U.S. Commodities. We'll have more AgDay coming up.
We've seen quite a bit of snow out toward the western parts of the country, especially those higher elevations of the Rockies, Sierra Nevadas, and the Cascades. A lot of snow has fallen. Now you're seeing areas of white right here making its way across the Rockies, and you might be, oh, it's a ½ inch. No. That is the other end of the board right there. That's 3 feet or more of snow in those highest areas just to the west of Denver, places just south of Billings, north of Salt Lake City, and also just to the south of Salt Lake City. You can also see out toward the most western part, right on the western coast, you can see where the Sierra Nevadas and Cascades also seeing a lot of that snowfall. So higher elevations have been seeing plenty of that moisture falling. Once you get to the plains, though, not so much. That will be changing pretty soon, but we're looking at a little bit of a hint of spring trying to make its way for the plains first. Going to start seeing the possibility of some severe thunderstorms in places just around the central, stretching into the southern plains, almost down toward Tulsa, Dallas, Oklahoma City. You'll be seeing a handful of those storms along the leading edge of this system right here. It's going to be moving through, although the main threat still appearing to be right where Kansas, Nebraska, and Missouri meeting up. That's the best chance of seeing the possibility of a handful of those tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, and of course that heavy rain possibly leading to a little bit of flash flooding. Now, this is luckily going to only be a Thursday thing, because as we get in from our Thursday to Friday, the reason is we're seeing a bit of instability with this low here. The low will detach itself from the main flow, making for a little more stable air for the southern plains and even into the deep south. But with this, the southern low is going to be allowing this northern low to push through. Much stronger low, I might want to add. As it dives in the Great Lakes and into New England, it's going to be bringing in much cooler air, and with the possibility of a little bit of maybe lake effect snow, with the lakes very, not nearly covered with that ice for right now. So we'll be watching for the possibility of lake effect snow across almost all of the Great Lakes. Precipitation is expected to remain pretty intense across some parts of the southern plains that do see that most of this rainfall as we get through these storms, though kind of need that rain as of right now. Haven't seen a ton of that for the past couple of days. Now, of course, we'll be watching this continue to move its way south. Again, some of this up here in the Great Lakes could be coming down as snowfall as well. Great Falls, Montana. It's going to be a warm one. Temperature is 77 degrees. Thankfully, going to be a little bit warmer. Mostly sunny. Huntsville, Arkansas. It's looking at strong storms. Highs in the 70s as well. And Roxborough, North Carolina. Mostly sunny. High 77.
2 ranchers have landed themselves in hot water after tampering with some federal rain gauges. That story coming up. Plus, a love for animals and a chance posting on a bulletin board landed one woman her dream job. We'll spend some time with a real-life barn hero in the country.
Drover's Report on Ag Day is brought to you by Neogen. Discover your possibilities and enhance your herd's potential.
2 Colorado ranchers are facing millions in fines and time in prison after being accused of tampering with rain gauges. The Department of Justice saying Patrick Esch and Ed Dean Yeagers of Springfield, Colorado, tampered with the gauges. Investigators say the two concocted a scheme to defraud the federal crop insurance program by making it appear there was less precipitation in their area than actual between July 2016 and June 2017. They say the two cut wires on automated rain gauges, tipped over some collecting buckets, covered others with pie pans and discs, and plugged another with silicone caulk. The two agreeing to a total settlement of more than $6.5 million. Now, they pleaded guilty for their roles in the alleged conspiracy, and Esch was sentenced to 2 months in prison. Yeagers, 6 months. As crews continue to work to bring wildfires in the Texas Panhandle under control, farmers and ranchers are beginning the first steps towards recovery. Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service helping people there, operating animal supply points where impacted producers can get hay, feed, milk replacer, and fencing supplies. There are also programs available through USDA. Officials are encouraging producers to go in and talk with representatives at the FSA office. At last report, the wildfires had damaged 1.1 million acres, destroyed hundreds of structures, and more than 7,000 cattle are dead. But Texas Ag Commissioner Sid Miller has said the final count could grow to 10,000. Not all heroes wear capes. Meet one young producer who's all about doting on the animals she loves next. What makes someone want to be a farmer? Sometimes the answer is easy for many. For one woman in Ohio, a love of animals has given her an unexpected career, turning her into someone we call a barn hero.
Hi, baby.
This is what work looks like
I'm glad you're behaving. Thank you.
for Summer Doty.
They're just warm and fuzzy, and it's like picking up a kitten.
As the farrowing manager at Isler Crest Farms in Prospect, Ohio, Doty is happy to spend her days doting on newborns.
Well, they never have a bad day. They're always happy. They're just with mom all day, happy, having a great time.
With an animal science degree and business management minor from Wilmington College, she saw this job posted on the bulletin board in 2021.
I had no idea what I wanted to do. This was a complete shot in the dark. I just knew I liked animals, I knew I liked pigs.
We are the caregivers to these animals, and at the company, we look for people that are animal people.
Boss and co-owner Nathan Isler says Summer is perfectly suited for the work.
When we look for employees, we always look for employees that are, animal lovers. It doesn't matter what species or what form, whether it's a pet at home or livestock. You can't teach somebody to care for animals. And if they don't care for animals, they won't care for the animals the way that they should. Summer is an animal lover.
Growing up on a farm and raising a few litters of show pigs helped feed the itch, but Summer admits a production-size operation is different.
I had no idea what I was getting into. It's never what you think it is.
And the variety is part of the joy she finds in the job.
They're not helpless, but there's a lot of things they can't do and a lot of things you can do to make their lives simpler and better.
The thing that separates her from the rest is the fact that she is so easygoing.
Easygoing, even on days that aren't perfect.
It's not good to carry stress from day to day with you, especially when things are going bad in the barn or you're having just a bad day personally. It is good to go home and decompress and try your best to forget about the day.
Knowing that tomorrow,
You be a big baby.
she'll be right back here.
They always ask, are you having a lot of pigs? Are you busy at work? It's the same. We have the same number every week.
Caring
We don't have a slow season.
for the day's newest litters.
I know, what are you doing? They bring a lot of joy to my day, and it's definitely a highlight of working here. I could never believe that.
A giving spirit,
You gonna go back to bed?
earning Summer Doty the title of Barn Hero
I'm so sorry to disturb you.
at Isler Crest Farms. Now, if you'd like to read more about summer, you can do so over at porkbusiness.com. And that's all the time we have this morning. We're sure glad you tuned in. From all of us here at AgDay, I'm Clinton Griffiths. Have a great day.